Hey everyone. So I realized that I still haven't finished the 30-day ideas challenge. So here I am doing the last 3 days. So today, day 28, and then of course the next couple of days I will finish off the next the whole series. I really wanted to commit to it. So, and of course, if you saw any of the previous ones, I did actually touch on one of the gene keys, gene key 29, which is all about that commitment and the shadow expression being the half-heartedness. So I didn't want to be half-hearted in this effort. Hey, I wanted to do the commitment and follow through. So here we are, day 28. And, here we are, International Women's Day, March the 8th. So, of course, depending on where you are in the world, it could still be the 7th, or maybe you're already just starting the 8th, or maybe you're like myself, it's now 6:30 at night on the 8th. But wherever you are, whatever you're doing, it is a time to really celebrate women, all ages. And of course, doesn't matter, what culture and, where you are, we're all women. So that's not what I actually wanted to talk about. What I actually wanted to talk about was more to do with embodiment. And you probably see that word thrown around a lot, especially online. And how I interpret it and how I've kind of embraced the whole notion, the whole concept is, to think of it, it's like really just getting in the body and being more present, because so many of us, myself inclusive, we're constantly kind of overthinking. We're overthinking in terms of, what do I have to do later today? What have I got to do tomorrow? What have I got to do next week? Maybe even a year out. 5 years out, we're thinking, thinking, or of course we're thinking about the past, things that we did or we didn't do, whatever it might be. So many of us are in our heads. And when they talk about the different, hemispheres, like you've got the left brain dominance, the right brain dominance, I've definitely been a left brain dominant person, very much the thinking and the logic and the analysis and the studying. And that's very much what society has tended to value, as we know. And it's all about, what you achieve, and, you've got to study hard at school, and then you've got to go on to university and, postgrad studies or whatever it is, in order to succeed in life. That's kind of the path that's laid out for us. And that's what's pretty much expected. And, that's all well and good. But I think for a lot of us, it's to the detriment of being, first of all, present in the moment. Because, of course, when we're present, we actually enjoy the journey more. We're not just, going through the motions. We're not just, busy, thinking to get to this destination, because really, do we want to hurry that? Well, not really. We've got to try and really lean into that present moment more and more and just enjoy the journey. So, first of all, it is, as I said, being present. And the second part of it is just to get back into the body. And it's funny because I keep seeing this everywhere, feminine embodiment, getting more into the feminine energy, the goddess energy, all of that. And, it's so appropriate because that's where I'm intuitively being led to as well. And one of the books that crossed my path is Pussy, a Reclamation. Maybe you've read it, maybe you haven't. It's by Regina Thomas Hauer, or also known as Mama Gina. And it's funny, I've just completed one of her 5-day pleasure challenges. And it's some of the principles that she actually talks about in here. And, it's good to just be in that energy of like other women who are also on this path to just reclaiming, when they talk about the pussy and pleasure and all that sort of stuff. But what I like about it is it's really getting us back into the body, and just getting us to kind of just be more present to, our senses and our feelings and, our pleasure and our turn on and all those kind of things. But that's what makes us different. That's what makes us unique. I mean, we're a portal to life, us women. It's pretty amazing. So, and I mean, I'm not going into detail, obviously, on what the book is, but, some of the practices, are great. They're just really all about, as I said, getting you into the body, getting you into the present moment, getting you into pleasure and excitement, and getting you away from, all the thinking and all the things that you've got to do later and tomorrow and da-da-da-da-da. And as you know, that kind of energy, it's very like fight or flight energy. It's very survival. It's, fast, fast, fast. And that's not conducive to good health and well-being on any level, like short-term or long-term. So that's why I really like these principles. And one of the ones that I've been doing is, just that turning on the music and really starting to just move the hips and, whatever the song is, just kind of really getting into it, moving the body. It's amazing. And it can really sort of shift your vibration, shift your energy very quickly. And, another way that you can use it is still through dance and still through movement, but actually kind of really tapping first of all into the body. And this is something I said most of us aren't really doing. We're not really kind of thinking about, okay, well, hang on a sec. Let me just actually feel into what am I actually feeling in this present moment? And then, whatever it might be, like just actually kind of having that awareness, actually naming it. Okay, so I'm actually kind of feeling a bit of anger. And so what I've started doing is actually then finding a song that I feel kind of has that energy and then putting it on and just moving, like free moving. And, if I want to say anything, if I want to get anything out, it's actually really, Nilva, hi, how are you? It's actually really good. So that's kind of a practice that's been really useful for me. As I said, well, both of those, first of all, just dancing, moving the hips and kind of, shifting my vibration, shifting the mood, shifting the energy. But as I said, the second one is really just to drop into the body. It's probably because of everything else that's going on. But anyway, hopefully you're all okay. But yeah, so as I said, just really allowing myself to just be present with that emotion. And, actually, as I said, just finding a song that has that same kind of energy. And it was funny, the other day, I was really tapping into this anger or this rage even. And the song that was coming up intuitively was that Kelly Clarkson song, Since You've Been Gone. And I know that's kind of a weird song because you think of the words and you think, oh, is that to do with anger or is that to do with rage? But when you actually listen to it, it's kind of more the fact that it's the pace, like the tempo and the fact that she's almost shouting at one point. It was just the energy that I wanted to get into. And gosh, it felt good just to kind of get this anger and rage or whatever it was that was in my system and, actually just move through it, because that's the problem. Most of us aren't sort of present to what's there. And then consequently, we're not moving through it. So it becomes almost stuck. It becomes almost lodged there. And of course, if you're familiar with, law of attraction, law of vibration, law of resonance, all that sort of stuff, that's what you're vibrating out into the world unconsciously. And of course, that's what you're going to attract more back of. So, really, that's not what we want. So the more that we can tap into what is there and move through it, it's gone. As they say, if you're in it, it usually moves within 90 seconds tops. So anyway, as I said, that's all I just wanted to share on this. But, there's, of course, other embodiment practices. I mean, and when it comes to female pleasure, there's various practices that have been around for hundreds, if not thousands of years, like jade egg and things like that. So, they've used that in places like in China and things for longevity and for the health of the female reproductive system and things like that. So anyway, that is all. I will see you tomorrow for the second last day of the challenge. And let me know if this has kind of just triggered something in you, or maybe you'd like to try one of these practices. Maybe you're already trying them and maybe it's really working for you. Anyway, much love and see you soon.